business with a servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Ramona. Inspiration, motivation takes. Listen to the pod.
Welcome to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart podcast. I'm your host, Steve Ramona. I'm excited about my two guests today. Yeah, I got a two, almost said two banger. I'm going to say a two banger guest. But we're going to talk about a film that's going to motivate you, inspire, and educate you for your kids. Kids have a tough world these days. There's a show out, and I just mentioned to my guests, Social Studies on FX. It talks about the use of their cell phone. I'm not going to get into all that because this film is really going to be impactful. Here's your homework today, audience. I want you to think how you're going to serve yourself and serve others today. You know who you can serve is your kids and your friends' kids with what you're going to learn today, because you're going to create an impact with what they're going to offer through this film and through the resources. That's going to change your life. And I want to thank my incredible sponsor, Pantheon. Imagine joining a community of thought leaders who want to change and impact the world and each other. There'll be a link in the show notes, or you can reach out to me for more information. I'm just going to bring my guest on. Dana and Jason, welcome to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart.
Thank you, Steve. Great to see you again.
Hey, Steve.
Film. You're kicking it off in Petaluma, California. You're going to, I believe, do it in LA. What's the mission and goal of this wonderful film?
Well, I'm going to let Dana share this, because this part of our organization, this film was kind of her brainchild. So Dana, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, so I'm really excited about it because joining Tell My Story 2 years ago plus, we had our first film called What I Wish My Parents Knew. It's a beautiful and heart-wrenching story of 10 young people sharing their mental health struggle. Did they ask for help from their parents? All of them resounding no. Why not? I don't want to be a burden. And then unfolding that story, helping people understand and what to look for, what to notice when young people struggle, and then offering tools and resources to every audience that watches our film, having a Q&A. Very powerful documentary that we've used for the last 2 years. And as we continue to show the film, which we do, and I have conversations with everybody that we partner with, they all say, you know, we love this. And we hear so much challenge. Where's the good news? Where's the hope? And so I said to Jay, I said, we need another film to go with this. So we have Salt and Pepper, we have the harder film to notice and what to look for. And then we have this new film. And I'm so excited about the title. The name of our film is Let's Go. And our new film is about young people having a struggle in their life. And we're not going to focus on that. They may say, yeah, I was bullied in middle school, and that's only a small part. But what I found during this challenging time is that I love to write. I write stories, I write in my journal, it turns into poetry. Now I'm a published poet, and my book is on Amazon. So I found this passion, something I could lean into to move me from a place where I felt stuck, maybe alone, depressed, anxious, whatever kids feel, and then move them from their feelings in their rooms, oftentimes on their phone and, being a sub character in their own life, to saying, if you're going to watch a movie, you want to watch a main character, right? And you want them to live a full life. So it's get out of your room, go take a shower, get into your life, and be the main character. So we're elevating stories of young people that are saying, let's go to their own lives. And it covers a variety of young people with many different stories that I think everyone can resonate with. But our message is positivity, it is hope, and it is one that I think everybody will find impactful. So yeah, let's go. What do you think, Jay?
Well, I think it was a brilliant idea. Thank you for pushing me on it to make sure we did it. And we've been able to interview some pretty amazing kids, and everything from Mina, who's the number one skateboarder in the United States, female skateboarder, to just great, amazing artists who are singers and songwriters. To there's just so many great people that Dana was able to find, and we did this in a way where I didn't really want to be in front of the camera, but Ken Goldstein and Dana were kind of pushing me towards this, because you get a better conversation when you're right there with them than you do if you're behind the camera. You just don't get the same kind of energy. So it's me kind of interviewing these kids and having these conversations, and they really open up to not just like, hey, I'm really successful doing this. It's like, oh my gosh, it was not easy to get here. And there are many times when I went through all these tough times to get here, and I had to sacrifice a lot of stuff to get here. And there's kids that just done some really cool things, right? There's some really successful kids, and kids that just do cool stuff because they're trying stuff. But they've got stories about having to make it through things, and that's, I think, a big part of what kids are missing these days. And not all kids, but some kids, is there is no easy path. You got to work at something, right? And it's going to be hard. And there is no get rich quick or get successful quick thing. And that's harder on this generation for whatever reason. So we're trying to show them that, you can go out there and have an amazing life if you just go and you try it.
Let's go. I love it. So I know I'm not a parent. I got stepchildren, but I've not grown up with young children, but I hear it. And you told us a story, Jason, before the show. That's an incredible, not good story. But people tell me, God, it's so hard to educate kids these days. Can you make inroads with that, with this film and the new film coming out we'll talk about in a minute here?
I think so. I think kids, having raised 4, right? They need role models. They need inspiration. Like, I think we've all had that example of someone who said, I hated school until I met this one teacher, right? And that one teacher inspired me. Or I didn't know what I really liked in life, but then I met this one person who played piano, and they showed me how to play piano. Now I play piano. That's my thing, right? So what we're trying to show kids is just find that one thing that you like and just lean into it, and your whole life does change, right? And it's meaningful. And I'm a big believer that the right person can literally help change somebody's life, right? Just that one conversation can spark something in somebody that they go, oh my gosh, I now know what I want to go do. So as far as I'm concerned, we're just going to keep trying, right? We're going to keep trying to come out there with new programs, and this is more than a film, by the way. This is a program, right? This is not going on streaming services. This is going to be, you're going to put it in the classroom. You're going to take a period of whatever 45, 50-minute classroom period, and there's a 20-minute video for classrooms, or 20, 30 minutes with a 20-minute discussion that goes along with that. So in other words, it's like you've got a teacher guide, and you've got a workbook for the kids to figure out what they really like. And we're going to help the teachers go, okay, here's how you have this conversation with kids. And then we've got a program that is larger, that can be done in an auditorium for larger groups of kids. And we've got a program where you can have an after school event where parents can see this stuff and go, yeah, maybe if I can just find the right way, find that one thing that they want to lean into, right? That's not a cell phone.
Yeah. So what's the role the parents are going to play? Because, we've all heard those stories. Your parents, hey, you tell your kid to do something, they go to school and the teacher says do it, and they do it. I told you that this morning. Why? How is the parents' role in this? Is it overseer? Is it reviewer? Is it stern teacher? How can they play a good role in this part?
Well, I'll give you my thoughts, and Dan, of course, give hers.
Yeah.
It's encouraging. When I think about what I was proud of being a parent, is I let my kids try a whole bunch of different things, and I encouraged them to stick to it as long as they enjoyed it. But if they didn't enjoy it, just pick something else up, right? And they eventually all found the things they really loved, and I would encourage them to do the things they really loved. And I wouldn't make them stick to things they didn't love, because that's not going to get us anywhere, right? And they all found the things that they could lean into. And I think that's the role of a parent, is just encouraging your kids to find the thing they can lean into. Because without that purpose, without that reason, like, school is not a good enough reason for most of us to get excited to wake up in the morning, right? And going out and hanging out with their friends is not, it's like good, but it's like you need more. You need something that goes, I am freaking excited about this. And my wish for the world, my wish for every kid and every adult in the world, is outside of work and outside of school, you have that 1, 2, or 3 things that you go, that's my thing. Because I think that people who have that thing, whether they're adult or child, have less mental health issues than those of us who don't have a thing. Now, that's not a cure-all, but it fixes a part of it.
Great beginning. Great start. I love it. Go ahead, Dana.
Yeah, when you get into movement, when you get into action, emotion is energy in motion, right? And so imagine kids just lying around playing video games. Not that all video games are bad, but like incessantly, or on your phone, not moving, doing a comparison thing, doing a doom scrolling, just feeling bad, no energy in the body. Like getting up and into the world in a good way is really important. And I think a parent's role in that is to put their own ego aside. If you feel like what your kid likes is irrelevant, like if they're telling you they like manga, or and you're like, what is manga? That's not going to get you a college scholarship.
Okay,
Like
what is manga?
form of drawing.
Oh,
Um,
I was
it's
going to ask
art.
too, Jason. So thank you.
I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like some parents might be like, what's that? Like, that's not
Yeah.
important to me. That's not important to the world or whatever. So parents' egos have to say, well, maybe my son's not going to be the quarterback, star and get a college scholarship. Like ego aside, your kid is not you lived, your unfulfilled dreams. And I won't say that to parents, but I know that that is
Or you can
typical.
say that to parents. I think you should. Yeah, I think you should say that to parents.
Well, I mean, sometimes a little bit of like directness is good.
Yep.
And, that your kids aren't here to fulfill your dream.
No.
They are not you. They come through you and from you, but they are not you. So ultimately, we're there to, like Jay said, to be a supporter and encourager. But we also have to say, all right, I'm humble checking myself, my ego to the side, and then be a good role model as a parent, not only to support them and say, tell me more about manga. What does that look like? Would you mind sharing? And if they say no, give them their space, until they, come forward. But also in your own life, if you're sitting around as a parent on your phone, or depressed, or not in your full health or well-being, and your emotional states are volatile, and your energy is not in motion to process your emotions, if kids see you struggling, they're going to pick that up. So not only put your ego aside, but also get your life in order so your kids can see you in action in a good way. So one of the things that I really like to say is start small, go big. Gotta take a small step. And then, we course correct. But as a parent, then it's like, okay, what is it that you like about this? What is challenging you? And then teaching kids, modeling with them, growing with them. What's challenging doesn't make it bad. You don't quit because you didn't get, my daughter, the cutest, tiniest little thing, didn't get the Munchkin role in third grade for Wizard of Oz. Oh, wow. Horror, drama, crying, hard. And I wanted to go to the school and say, how can all these kids not be in the play? Come on. And I didn't. I said, Grace, you know what? And we worked through this situation. And she took her disappointment. She went and supported her friends, and she tried again the next year. So it's kind of like these small setbacks don't mean we quit. So I think there's a larger narrative here, but also letting the young people drive the narrative. So, like I said before, they can become
Yeah.
their own main character in their own life, not like the side character for a parent's life, right? Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes a lot of sense. And that's life. When they become adults, they're going to go for a job they didn't get. They go back another time again. Yeah, the lessons they've learned. An audience, if you're a parent out there, you should be role models. That should be your definition. Thank you, Dana. That's a perfect definition of a parent. Be a role model. Don't be what's the word? Dictator. And don't be soft. Be a role model. Be there for them. I love that. Talk about this law. Go ahead. You can say something, Dana?
Well, I was going to just say, I think
Jason?
quitting one more time, Dana brought up the whole concept of quitting. I think I did too. Is like, I think we have to be careful as parents, that we go, you can't quit because you started this, you have to finish it, right? It's like, I think we have to draw a line between quitting because something is hard is the wrong idea, because everything's hard, right? If you can't, if you quit this because it's hard, the next thing you start, you're going to find something hard there too. Because as you get progressively better at something, it never goes from here to here. It goes like this, right? When I look at my business career, and I've done well, so people say, it's not from there to there. It was there to there to there to there to there to there to there. And if I quit every time I went to there, I wouldn't be where I am today. So that's the wrong reason to quit. However, the right reason to quit may very well be that I absolutely hate this and it's not for me. Like I have done, as an example, right? I did Ironman races in my 40s. And I did like 2 fulls and 7 halves. And I was doing them and doing them and doing them. And then at some point after 8 years, someone asked me, what's your favorite part of an Ironman? I said, none of it. I hate all 3 sports equally. I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm not any good at it. I come in last every friggin' race. I'm not going to get any better at it. It's way too much time away from my family to train. It's not bad to quit. I suck at this and I don't like it. Why the hell am I doing it? Go find another hobby you like and you're good at. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, no, and that's good distinction between both lessons. Yeah, you
And
don't
also
quit 'cause
being
it's
able
hard.
to share how you feel
Yeah.
with the people you love. Like, dad's not quitting because he doesn't want to work hard. This just doesn't work for me. And the big distinction is, how do you feel on the inside about yourself, about your heart, about your goals and your dreams? If something that you're doing doesn't make you feel better about who you are and create a resonance and a peace and a calm and a confidence and a resilience within yourself, there's a disharmony there. So if you're doing something that your parent loves, if you're trying to be that quarterback for your dad, and it just isn't making that kid happy, it's actually causing him so much stress. Not that I have any personal understanding of this story. It's tough to watch your kid struggle like that. So allowing them to say, you know what, this just isn't working is a really good thing, and talking about it, airing it, and then walking them through that process of what's quitting, what's not quitting, and then also what's just like hurting you and
Right.
hurting your heart, in terms of like, if you're playing football and you don't want to, you're getting hit in the head, that's a big risk. So that, there's a lot of conversation that we can have to show our young people decision making. How long do you stay the course? And when is a good time to just say, this isn't good for me. It's not making me feel better about who I am or enhancing my life, in the age appropriate ways for the kids as they move along. And then for us as adults, as we move along, because we make big choices still. Like, do I want to keep doing this? Do I want to stay in that? And is my outer world reflective of how I want to feel inside? So one of the things that I've been talking about with Jay is, let's go from the outside in. Like, what we're doing outwardly, does it match what we want to feel on the inside? And when
Yeah.
the inner and the outer world attune, that's when we figure out who we are, why we're here. We love to wake up in the morning, and that's a tough journey. Like Jay said, it goes up and down, but that's what this film does. And it's informative for young people. It's informative for parents. And honestly, it's helping me hone my own true north to be a better mom and a better human and a better person in the world. So,
Well, Dana's obviously the brains of the operation, so there you go.
Yeah, and being better is the goal for everybody. So, what a great mission. Talk about the kickoff. Petalluga's coming up, and I believe you're going to kick off in LA. I know you want it in every school. That's the goal. Talk about the kickoff of the film.
well, we're still wrapping up filming right now, and then the kickoffs will be this fall. So we're working on the launch date for a Southern California release party, a Northern California release party, and having the young people be present at those to have Q&A after. So as soon as those dates are ready, we will release them and make sure that they are out there. But we will have this film ready to be in your school for fall of 2025.
You go to tellmystory.org. You can sign up for our emails, and we will send you links and information about it. And yeah, we're excited. And then
And
sorry.
they can also reach out directly to me, Dana@tellmystory.org. That is the quickest way to say, yeah, let's go. We're here. We're showing up for this. Let's do it.
Great. That's perfect. Thanks for sharing that. And audience, I'll have it in the show notes as well. And we're not done yet. You guys haven't worked hard enough. Jason tells me you've got another movie about AI coming out.
Well,
Tell us about it.
I should also tell you that the new album came out, Steve. I forgot to tell you, the Songs from the Drive Home Volume 2 is out on Spotify and Apple Music, and it's Take the Long Way Back is the name of the album, and it's basically great, just hanging out, listen to music, all have a little bit of mental health focus. We grabbed some amazing artists who sang on this and played on. They did. The LA Hustle did a great job. My partners did a fantastic job on this one, and please check that out. But our next film is something I'm very passionate about right now, and I spend a lot of time on because I'm actually definitely afraid of what's going on in the world right now, beyond all the wars and everything else. AI is, as everybody knows and probably paying attention to, it's going to change our world dramatically. And it's moving very, very fast, and faster than any other technology change we've ever seen. And I would challenge you, to all those people who think that, oh, we've been through this before. We went from farming to this, to that, to the other thing. We have never been through this before. This is completely, completely different. And it's going to change the way everybody works. People are going to lose their jobs. They're going to change their jobs. I'm not here to talk about that, though. What concerns us the most is how AI is going to affect our kids. And I see this as being as monumental and impactful as social media was on mental health of kids. And the Social Dilemma came out, a couple of years back, where they talked about the effect of Facebook and social media on our kids. The problem with that is that it came out 10 years too late, and it talks about all the stuff we already knew. We're trying to get ahead of it right now and talk about the good and the bad. But when you think about it, there's a lot of challenges with it. If someone can go ahead and push a button on ChatGPT, that doesn't make you a songwriter because I wrote a song on a prompt. The hours and hours and hours I went to both these albums in the 30 plus years I've been in music, and 35 years of my partners have been, and all the people have been working on these albums. Those are musicians, right? That write the songs. The hours it takes you to write a book and really think about a book and put together a book. And I'm not saying ChatGPT can't help you put a book together, right? I'm not saying it won't, but you're not an author because you put a prompt in and you spit out a book. And I'm worried about our kids being robbed of the gift of hard work and learning and being creative, because why bother trying? Like, you have one child who goes ahead and spends all summer writing a book and they're very proud of, and you have the 13-year-old's brother go, I just wrote one too. It took me 4 minutes. That's not cool, right? When we lose our critical thinking skills because we don't have to anymore, you just push a button.
And we also lose the inner pride, that inner world that we don't speak about. AI is like this outer thing that people play with. But if you throw something just as a prompt to create something for you, instead of having something come through you, it's a very different embodied experience. And kids' nervous systems are just not aligned right now.
Yeah.
Humanity isn't. So giving people that powerful feeling in their body, like, I worked hard, even though there's that friction, it's that good friction that opens up more creativity, more passion, more vitality. And most people right now have their lights down and they're in fear. And social media, AI, and all of the conditions are creating that. And we want to say we have to work with the world, and these are the ways that we can do it to not lose our souls. Stay creative, stay in communication. That's what we're about as an organization. So Jay, all of those things, the music and the film and the creativity and the teamwork and the grit and the hours, you can't get anything better than good friends and good music and, the good sweat and some tears, and say, it might not be perfect, but we did this.
Yeah.
Well, we are all who we are because of the trials and tribulations we went through.
Yeah.
Because the easy stuff, I didn't learn anything, right? The stuff that just came naturally, I didn't learn anything. And luckily, nothing really came naturally. But the other big piece of this, Steve, and the thing that scares me most is, the advent of chatbots and kids being able to just create their own little chatbot person that they can connect to. Like, I have friends that have, they say their 11-year-old son spends more time talking to their AI chatbot than they do their friends and their family. Now you picture 2 years later, that little boy has a AI girlfriend who never says He never says a bad word to him. He never gets mad at him. He can only do well. And our, excuse me, our young men are in crisis now. Our middle school boys are already awkward enough, right? We have this point where women are now, and probably should have a long time ago, are surpassing men in going to college, smarter, more aggressive, more successful. And the boys are trying to figure out how to keep up. And they don't know how to talk to girls, and they don't know how to talk to women, they don't know how to talk to each other. And now they don't have to. And they never learn to. And that scares the hell out of me.
And they don't have to express feeling or deal with someone else's feelings. And that's what helps strip away humanity and takes us further down. And that is absolutely so scary. So yeah, Jay, that's right.
So that's
exciting.
what we're working on. It's going to be done. We're getting a lot of experts. It's not going to be me, obviously. I'm not an expert in any of this stuff, but we're putting together all the experts to have the conversation. And there's a lot of great with AI. Trust me. AI makes my life, just supercharges my life. So I don't hate AI. I'm scared of what's going to do to some people, and mainly our kids. And this movie will be for parents to be able to say, here's what's coming. Here's what you need to be challenged and concerned about with your kids. And here's some things you can do. So you're ahead of the curve, as opposed to going, yeah, that social media thing wasn't really good for my kids, was it?
Yeah. We're coming to the end here. Sponsorship. So people can actually be intimately involved with this project and the second project coming. How can they be a sponsor, and what's the goal with that?
Well, we'd like to have people help, we'd like to have major sponsors for the film. This film will be shown in schools all across the country. It's got an amazing reach and an amazing message. And everything we've done so far has been funded primarily by myself and some donations from one of my companies, College for Painting, which have been very helpful. But we're going to go bigger. We'd like to have some decent sponsors coming out on the film and help us bring the film. Dana has all that information. You reach out to Dana, she'll be able to tell you exactly how it looks. But I think it's a great opportunity for brands that care about kids and want to be seen as a brand that cares about the mental health of kids and families to be showing and sponsoring this film.
I love it. Dana, shout out your information where they can sponsor or learn about sponsorship.
Yeah, they can just reach out to me and I can send them our sponsor kit. It's just email me, dana@tellmystory.org. We have all the different ways you can plug in. And this is something that's very easy for you to get involved in, something that is not only fun and hip and cool, it has great impact. You're going to feel better as a sponsor. If you're a company, you're going to be able to show this to your employees and they're going to watch it and they're going to be inspired and they're going to have to ask themselves, how do I feel? Right? So it's a win-win for everybody. And so, yeah, any company that feels like they want their people to feel more juice, to feel more inspiration, to live a little bit bigger, to, have that go mentality, we want to partner with companies and organizations that really do care about taking a difficult situation and turning it into something really beautiful as an opportunity.
This is great. Thank you both, Jason and Dana, for being on and this incredible film. Audience, look for it. Look in the show notes. Take a look at it. If you know a teacher, share this link. If you know a parent, share this link. If you know a kid, share this link. What am I telling you? Share the darn link, because this is going to show you it's a gift. Because I know a teacher right now I'm going to share this with up in Modesto, my wife's best friend. She's a teacher for 30 years. She needs to see this film and have it at her school. So let's help them grow this. And as always, me, Dana, and Jason, thank you all for watching and listening to this podcast. And we'll see you all on the next episode of Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. See you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye, Steve.